Hi there, some reflections on the match versus Athletic. I just want to go through what we need to be doing in terms of as soon as there's a goal clearance for that we have to defend. Some commentary around pressing the fix. Some commentary around how we're achieving shots. Tons of shots in the game, some from slightly wider areas. I just want to focus the mind on where we want to be shooting from. And ahead of next couple of matches, just a reminder as defending as the low block. There were loads of positives from the Athletic game. We'll talk about those later. I just want to cover these important things. So to start off with goal clearances. Reds are defending a goal clearance from purples. Absolute priority is that we need to react quickly. By the time that the goalkeeper has the ball in hand, we have to have created our defensive shape. Absolute priorities: control the centre and prevent quick penetrative forward balls towards the opposition pivot. The goalkeeper must not be able to play the ball forward to this pivot player. So the objective of our pivot, irrespective of the position of anybody else, they must stop this ball forward. So what does the pivot do? Well, the pivot's objective from a goal clearance is, first of all, to stop this ball. So the pivot's positioning is in line between the goalkeeper and the opposition pivot. What you'll notice, though, is that this does create a ton of space in the middle here. The goalkeeper could just play a long ball into the chest or feet of their pivot. They play off from that. So there's actually an argument to say that our pivot comes back. Perhaps in a line you might want to be slightly disjointed, but certainly closing down the gap between the two pivots. What we're looking for is to make play predictable. The play will either end up going to the 4 or to the wider 3 and 2, which is why this player drops in, it goes out, and then we step back up in order to stop any rapid transitions in to the 1. So number 2, as soon as this ball goes out, your thought has got to be, I don't want the ball to go to the pivot. And if the pivot moves, their number 1 moves across, you're going to be closing out. But your first thought, they cannot play centrally. Number 1 comes across to cover. Number 2 shifts there. Number 3 comes up as well. And then as the ball rotates across the back, all we're going to do is just keep moving the players. We all know what we're doing. It's a 3-1 in defence, and just keep the shape, keep it narrow, stopping the balls into their opposition pivot. If they do have to go, they have to go down the line. We use the touch line in order to prevent their rapid movement forward. So on a similar phrase, we probably don't always want to press the fix. Again, the principle that we have is always control the centre and prevent penetrative forward balls. For me, if you're pressing the fix and you're constantly harrying them, then yes, you might win the ball. Yes, they might make a bad touch, and if there are pressing cues that mean you should press, then we press them. But for me, the most important thing, particularly against the stronger teams who are more technical and are going to have this strong fix in play, is that we stop the ball going straight through into their pivot player. So maybe it's a case of delay, force them wide, and make them make that decision to do something different other than giving them that easy option to play straight through. So where should the pivot be standing? The pivot has got 2 jobs. The first is to stop this ball here between the 2 and the 5. So their first job is to stop that progressive ball. For me, if the 1 is diving in, it is too easy for the 2 to go round and play that ball into 5. So for me, I wouldn't press in this area. It's a screening job and it's preventing the ball going into 5. If 4 is happy to play ahead of 5, then maybe 1 can press. But we need comms on that, and we need to know that 4 is going to have 5, and 5 isn't going to go to there. 4 can't cover because that ball's too easy. The second thing that 1 has got to worry about is that if the ball does go out wide, 3 is going to shuffle over to prevent the ball into 5, and then 2 is going to cut in, but 1, your job is now to prevent that ball. I do not mind if the ball recirculates back to 2, but we certainly don't want it going across the court, and we certainly don't want it going into 5. So 3 blocks the ball to 5, 1 blocks the ball to 3, which means that 4 either has to take it down the line, in which case 3 goes to cover, or 4 sends it back to 2, or even better, sends it back to 1. If we're then talking about what we do higher up the pitch, it's kind of the same story. Again, 4 is dealing with 5, and 1, your job is to stop that ball through. Again, if you dive in, what you're doing is you're going to be creating more space in behind yourself for 5 to dive into. So for me, maybe hold off. Depends on what the 2 is like. If the 2 is a dribbler and is going to get past you, definitely hold off. Make them play the pass. Make them make the decision to play it out wide. Because as soon as they play it out wide, we cut off. 2 tucks in a little bit, and 1, again, your job is to stop that pass across. So you're back here. 4 has no options. They have to play the ball back, or they have to take 3 on, come in through the middle maybe, but then 1 is there to cover. But your first job as the pivot is to cut this in the middle, and when the ball is back here with 2, your job is to cut this ball out in the middle of the court. So passing moves results in shots. This is the purpose of the 3-1. It is all about passing, moving into space. It confuses the opposition. It gives us time to play. We retain possession. We get opportunities. As we said at the athletic match, it isn't about creating the opportunity first time. Sometimes you might need to do those passing and movements from the back, playing out into the midfield, and then even maybe in the attacking third in order to create those opportunities. Versus athletics, we had loads of shots in these green areas. I'm going to show you a video which demonstrates this really well. It doesn't result in a goal, but it's a really good opportunity that demonstrates what this passing and movement is all about. So starting with L in goal, I just want you to notice Bentley is playing to start off with over on the left hand side, got Sarah on the right, and then Kemp is up front. Ball comes out into Bentley, and her first thought is pass and move. This is exactly what we want. Ball is rotating, Bentley's on the left, thank you very much. There's the diagonal ball, excellent. Across to the pivot who's in space, and that's the opportunity in the shot. That is exactly what we want from a 3-2 playing out from the back. We break through their press, we give ourselves the opportunity to shoot, and we take that opportunity. The even better if we change this to having more shots from the green areas and the red areas. The green areas are long shots, making sure that someone is following in if it gets parried off the keeper. So opposite winger, you need to be making that run. In the video we've just seen, that would have been Bentley, making sure that she makes a run towards the goal, ideally far post. Red is the back post tap-in. So we're receiving the ball in space, we're going to drive to a wide area, either on the left or the right, and we are actively looking for the player to make that run to the far post to tap in. And we're actively looking for that as an opportunity. This is the even better if. What we just saw in the pass and the move was good. We now need to be even more clinical, creating better goal scoring opportunities, closer to goal, more direct, ideally back post tap-ins if we can manage it. That means we're going to score more goals, not just have more shots. One final thing I just want to go through as a reminder for the next couple of matches, defending is a low block. Just a reminder, if they are playing 4-0, we control the centre, we drop low, we don't press, they cannot play into our central area, we don't allow any crosses, and we certainly don't allow any of their players to come into the middle of this 4 and receive the ball. We shouldn't be having to move too much, we should be just forcing them to play around us in this yellow U shape. Our objective, win the ball, and if there is space ahead of us, counter directly. If there's space behind and we need to play out, we'll do that in a 3-1. If there's no space, they're high pressing, sod it, send it, we play it as a 3-2. So the goalkeeper has feet, we use them. 2 players go up and occupy the space in their part of the court, and we force them to react to that. If they bring out a fly keeper, we did see this against Bristol, it is exactly the same principle. They will have 5, it is slightly harder, but again the objective is to get them to play the ball around this U shape at the back, and if the ball goes into these wider players in the corners, they cannot cross the ball. But fundamentally, our 4 players control the centre, we don't allow any balls into the middle, force them to play round, and if we win the ball back, and the goalkeeper is out of their area, our first thought must be shoot. We will get an opportunity to score. Otherwise, same principle. If the goalkeeper is in, or we don't think the shot's on, we counter directly. If we can't counter, we retain possession. If we can't retain possession, then we send it long as a 3-2 and we force them to react. That's it. Just some thoughts about Athletic and thinking ahead. Again, thank you very much for your intensity and your hard work. Great win against Athletic. Let's see what we can do in the next couple of matches.